Hey guys, it's Felswim40k here. I'm back again with another video. I do want to apologize that it's been so long since I've made this video from my previous one. I've got no excuse, honestly. But today I wanted to make a video on specifically just the Black Legion characters. I wanted to go a little more in depth with them, what I think of them compared to since the time has passed with my rankings on them. Things like that. So I guess let's just jump right into it. So first we're going to start off with Angrax. Angrax, as I've leveled him up, I've started to appreciate him more. I still wouldn't pick him, like, in a 5-man lineup. If I could pick any 5 characters, he's not going to be there. Oh, excuse me. But he's gotten a lot better, and I've really appreciated him. So, I guess we'll start off with these. Let the Galaxy Burn. Never attacking an enemy, there's a 50% chance that one additional hit is scored against the unit or a unit adjacent to it. If that unit is not Chaos, this applies regardless to which side the unit is on. So, not bad. Deep Strike. In this unit's first turn only, it may instantly move to any free hex on the battlefield that is not adjacent to an enemy unit. It cannot be attacked until after this move. Not bad, honestly. It's pretty good. It's not good in PvP. It's really not. I'll be honest with you. I've used it one time in PvP and he just got obliterated. There was like no ifs, ands, or buts. I would not use him for PvP. There's way better people for that. Do not use it for PvP. Use him for PvP. Or use that ability for PvP. So next up, we'll go to his active, which is Bringer of Despair. So Bringer of Despair, he does a melee attack and another random enemy adjacent to Angrax. Any resulting battle fatigue is triggered twice, which can be really good. You know, especially in the Fall of Cadia campaign, or, you know, when you're doing Onslaught, you can battle fatigue a lot of them and really push the enemy, dwindle the numbers with this ability. It's actually really good. Or it's not bad, but the only problem is it can feel like a little low damage as you start getting higher up. Even as you level them, it just doesn't keep up. Sometimes it feels like. Hateful Assault is his passive, which, you know, if Angrax comes into contact with his target, he automatically swipes at them and he deals 17 damage. Or if somebody tries to move away from him, he gets a basically attack of opportunity. I guess from like D&D, if you know anything, if you guys play D&D or anything like that. And you know, it's not bad. Sometimes if you don't kill them with the first hit and then they try to move away, you can sometimes get them again and then actually get the kill, which can be really good. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage though, so it's just a little extra damage that can get padded onto. His movement isn't that great. He only has 2 movement, so basically you really have to deep strike him right off the get-go, so you can really get him close to the enemy lines. His survivability has gone up a lot since I started leveling him more. He's got a lot of a lot of armor. Like 124 is a good amount of armor. He can soak up some shots, but his damage is a little low in my opinion. All right, so yeah, Angrax, I wouldn't use him in PvP. PvE is fine. You're gonna have to level him up because you need him for Fall of Cadia. He has to be on the field for, I think, just about every fight. So definitely level him up and use him for that reason. But outside of that, you could just pick almost anybody else. Alright, next up we're going to move on to Volk. Now Volk, I put him in B tier, and honestly, I might move him up to A tier. I've been really appreciative of Volk's damage in PvP, PvE. I haven't used him in guild raids yet, but I might start because he can actually really pierce through and do a lot of damage. So obviously he has Let the Galaxy Burn. He has Suppressive Fire. An enemy unit hit by this unit's range attack becomes suppressed. That means they can't overwatch. Basically, if a unit becomes suppressed, they can't overwatch. So like Curtis, Calandus, Immospec, from the Necrons, all that. Really great. The only issue with it is his range is basically the same, I think, as Curtis and Calandus, so they get their Overwatch off anyways most of the time. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to verify that, and I'm sorry for misleading you. And then his other ability is Damon. This unit has an additional 25% chance to block up to 50% of its own current damage stat. So that means he has a chance to block up to 32 damage. That's, I mean, who doesn't love that? It's 25% chance to just negate extra damage. Great. Honestly, fantastic. Let's go on to his active ability. Frenzied Firing deals 6 times this. So basically, anybody that is in range, he fires shots, hits them all, and then each unit that he hits gets the suppressed. That, once again, if he is in range to hit Curtis, Calandris, all that stuff, great. I will say, one thing I have noticed, not sure if this is like me doing it wrong or something, messing up, bugging or something. You can't move and do it. You have to do it where he stands. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to work like that, or if I'm just messing up and doing it wrong, but that is what it is. So next up we have his passive. And his passive is his Saving Grace. This passive is so good. I love it. Flesh Metal Guns. He has a 30% chance to add 45 heavy round damage and plus 20% pierce to all his hits. So that means you can get extremely lucky and he adds it to every single one of his hits. You could get really unlucky and none of it. You could, 50-50 and 3 out of his 6 hits do. It's great. But it does a lot of damage. I've used it to really pen down or really hurt those heavy armored guys in PvP. Anybody that has really heavy armor, I sit and go, alright, I'm gonna use Volk on him, hands down. PvE is really great because he's really good at killing Cadian Guardsmen. He's really good at all those kinds of things. He will kill anything like the Necron spiders that Aleph Null summons, the Tyrannid summons, all those things. He'll one-shot them. So he's really good with that. I really do want to move him up to A tier, but I'm going to keep him back for now, simply because his movement's not there. Really good HP, his armor's so-so, but I've come to love him. I want to actually start using him in guild raids, see how he performs. If he doesn't, if he does, then good. Next up, we're going to use Archimedos. Archimedos, obviously S tier, hasn't changed. He is, by far in my opinion, the best summoner right now. The best. So obviously he has Let the Galaxy Burn, and he has Psyker. So, when attacking with a ranged psychic attack, this unit uses Smite and deals 50% of that damage to a random enemy adjacent to the target. That works really well with his passive. Each time the Archimedos defeats an enemy unit, a Bloodletter is summoned in its hex. So that means if he kills his initial target and the secondary target, he now just summoned 2 Bloodletters. Insane. Fantastic. Bloodletters are obviously great, you know what I mean? They're basically another scapegoat. They're a unit that can either just be killed so that your units don't take damage, they can deal a shit ton of damage. Fantastic. His active ability is Incursion. He can summon up to 4 Bloodletters. Wow, just up to 4 of those things that deal 155 damage right now for me. They'll kill just about everything. No problem, no questions asked. So Archimedos S tier. I use him for everything. PvE, PvP, guild raids, all that stuff. No problem whatsoever. If you have him, use him, level him up. One, you have to level him up for Fall of Cadia, but don't even, for that reason alone, level him, but Even if you didn't have to use him, level him. He's so good. Easily one of the best characters in the game right now. Next up we have Harkin. Now, Harkin, I put him in A tier, and I kind of want to drop him down to B tier. He's kind of fallen off for me. I like him, and he's really great, but he's kind of been lackluster for me. Alright, so obviously he has Let the Galaxy Burn, and he is flying. Can traverse impassable hexes and enemies and move between any elevation. Does not get any bonuses from tall grass and trenches. So basically, you know, he has great maneuverability, which is great, which is what you want for him. You want him flying around and potentially killing a weakened character or something like that, so this ability works great for him. Moving on to his active. Now, one thing that's really great about his active is he removes 58 armor. That is fantastic. That is really good for PvE, like the guild raid boss. Removing 58 armor means everybody else now doesn't have to deal with 58 armor, and they can, you know, deal more damage. And he triggers the battle fatigue trait for all enemy units within 2 hexes. That's really great. In Fall of Cadia, you can get a lot of units to run away. You can do you can get Tyranids to run away, things like that. So that's really great right on its own. Next up, we'll go to his passive. Now, his passive is every time he kills an enemy, he gets plus 23 damage, and every time he kills a character, so like PvP kills a character, he gets plus 1 to his hit. So now instead of attacking once, he attacks twice. Fantastic. Really great. He is good for PvP. I recommend using him, and just for this ability alone, because he can be a finisher when you might not have one. So overall, Harkon is great. He's usable in any situation. PvP, PvE, Onslaught. You know, obviously you need him for Fall of Cadia, so level him up there. But I recommend using him. I like him a lot. Alright, so last up, we're going to move on, and last up, we're going to have Abaddon, the Despoiler. There's really not much that I need to say about Abaddon. He kind of speaks for himself. I know I put him in S tier. Once again, I say I'm a little biased by doing that. He probably doesn't deserve to be there. But, so Abaddon is your one-shot king when it comes to PvP. So we'll go to his active ability for the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. Abaddon attacks the target with both the Talon of Horus and Draconian. He crushes people with this ability. Literally, I've not had him not one-shot a character with this ability. So the only downfall is Abaddon's health is then set to, for me, it's set to 160. It goes up by 11 at the next level. So typically when I run him in my guild raids or in my boss raid, and when I use this ability, I make sure to have Rotbone right there to heal him back up to full. So it's almost like, you know, you get all the benefits with none of the drawbacks. So it's really great. Yeah, I use him in my PvP as well. PvP, this ability right here, I run up one-shot whoever. Doesn't matter who. He has never failed to do it. Fantastic. Now onto his passive. Friendly chaos units in a hexes surrounding Abaddon deal plus 22 damage. All friendly units with Let the Galaxy Burn trait score additional hit when the trait is triggered. So this now means that chaos units, so this now means Death Guard units also get plus 22 damage, but then all other Black Legions get plus 1 to hit. So that means Harkon now gets 2 hits, he gets a kill plus 3 hits. That's great. Why not? Archimedos gets, you know, 1 hit, now gets 2 hits. Everybody gets an extra hit. Even Volk. Volk gets an extra shot off. Fantastic. So it's a really good passive. Abaddon is fantastic. I use him in everything. If I can use him, he's 100% getting put on the team. There's no doubt about it. Him and Archimedos are really great together. So, yeah, overall, Abaddon probably doesn't deserve to be S tier. Angrax might move up to C tier. Volk might move up to an A tier, and Harkin will might move down to a B tier. So that's everything I have to say about this. Sorry if I just, rambled on and stuff like that, or anything like that. I do apologize. Yeah, so that's my take on the Black Legion. Really good characters. All of them they're really viable, actually. Honestly, all of them are viable. Whether it's PvP, PvE, things like that. A lot of them work actually really well in PvP and PvE. So I recommend getting them if you can, leveling them up, using them, things like that. Thank you guys so much though for watching the video. I do want to move on to, I think I'm going to move on to Death Guard next. I'm just going to go down the list like I did with the previous video, or my character ranking list. So I'm just going to move on to the Death Guard next, and we'll go from there. I'm going to do obviously all 5, a little bit more in depth, read off a couple of their abilities, things like that. Same thing as I did today. So please let me know down in the comments what you guys think. If you guys still agree with me, if you disagree, if you're excited to see if they want to add anybody to the Black Legion, who would you want them to add? So let me know down in the comments. Hit the like video, and just thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a great night.